All right, let's dive into one of the biggest names in video editing, Adobe Premiere Pro. And if you're just starting out, you are in the perfect spot. We're going to strip it all down to the basics and get you up and running. Let's do this. So you open up Premiere Pro for the first time and whoa, it can look pretty intense, right? You've got all these different windows, buttons, timelines. It's totally normal to feel a bit overwhelmed. But I promise you, it is nowhere near as complicated as it looks. In the next few minutes, we are going to completely cut through that confusion. We're not going to worry about all the fancy stuff. We're just going to focus on the absolute must-know essentials to put together your very first video. Simple, step by step. Here's our game plan. It's just 4 simple parts. First, we'll cover the absolute first thing you have to do, creating a new project. Then we'll take a quick tour of the workspace so you know where everything lives. After that, we get to the fun stuff, actually joining some clips together. And we'll wrap up with a couple of killer shortcuts that'll make you feel like a pro right from the get-go. Okay, let's get into it. Step 1, the new project. Every single edit you ever do starts right here. Getting this part right is going to save you so many headaches down the line, so let's make sure we nail it. When you first launch Premiere, you'll see a screen with a bunch of options and maybe some recent files. You know what? Just ignore all of that. The only thing on this entire screen that you need to care about is that one big blue button that says New Project. That's your front door. Okay, so you click that button and immediately you're asked to name a project and a sequence. So what's the deal with that? Well, think of the project as the giant box that holds absolutely everything for your video. All your clips, your audio, your graphics, the whole shebang. The sequence is what goes inside that box. It's your actual edit, your timeline where you build the story. And honestly, this is the perfect way to think about it. The project is your entire short movie. Let's call it My Awesome Vacation. But a movie is made of different scenes, right? Well, the sequences are those individual scenes. So you could have a sequence called Beach Day, another one called Hiking Trip, all living happily inside that one main My Awesome Vacation project. So really, this screen is way simpler than it looks. All you have to do is this. 1, give your whole project a name. 2, give your first sequence a name. 3, find and select the video clips you plan on using. And 4, just hit that big Create button. That's it. You're officially inside Premiere Pro. Okay, we're in. And I know it can look like the cockpit of a spaceship. But to get started, you only need to understand 4 main windows, or boxes. Let's just focus on those and forget everything else for now. Box number 1, usually down in the bottom left, is your project window. This is basically your media library. All those video and audio files you just imported, they all live right here, just waiting for you to use them. Now, whenever you double-click on a clip in that project window, it pops up here, in the source monitor. This is your preview screen. It lets you watch a raw clip and pick out the exact parts you want to use before you add it to your final edit. Over on the right, you've got the program monitor. This is the main event. This screen shows you your finished product. As you start adding clips and making changes, this is where you'll see your video come to life. And finally, stretching across the bottom is the timeline. This is the heart of everything. It's where the real work happens. You'll drag your clips here, you'll put them in order, you'll trim them. This is where you build your story. Now, if you look closely at the timeline, you'll see it's split into tracks. The ones on top, labeled V1, V2, and so on, those are for your visuals, your video clips, photos, titles, anything you can see. The tracks on the bottom, A1, A2, that's for your audio. Your dialogue, music, sound effects, it all goes down there. Easy enough, right? Okay, this is a huge tip. Seriously, this trips up almost every single beginner. To add a clip to a track, that little V1 or A1 label has to be highlighted in blue. If it's not blue, the track is disabled. Think of it like this. A blue track is an open door you can walk through. A gray track is a closed door. You have to click it to open it up before you can bring anything in. All right, we've had the grand tour. We know where everything is. Now for the really fun part. Let's actually put some clips together and start telling a story. And the basic workflow is so simple and elegant. First, you double-click a clip in your project window to open it in the source monitor. Then you find the exact spot where you want the good part to start, and you hit the I key for your in point. Find where you want it to end, and hit the O key for your out point. Now you've isolated just the piece you want. Just click and drag that selection down to your timeline. Boom! You just made an edit. Look, you can do everything with your mouse, but if you want to speed things up and really feel like you know what you're doing, learning a few simple keyboard shortcuts is an absolute game changer. We've already been using some of the most important ones, right? I for in, O for out, and the spacebar is going to be your best friend for playing and pausing your work. The other two to know right away are the plus and minus keys. They let you zoom way in on your timeline for super precise cuts or zoom way out to see the whole story.
Now get ready for a shortcut that will literally save you so much time. Here's the problem. You have a clip in the middle of your sequence that you want to get rid of. If you just select it and hit the normal delete key, poof, it's gone. But it leaves this ugly, empty gap in your timeline that you have to fix manually. There is a much, much better way.
And this is the magic trick. Instead of just pressing delete, you hold down the shift key and then press delete. This does something called a ripple delete. It not only gets rid of the clip you don't want, but it automatically grabs everything after it and snaps it into place, closing the gap instantly. It deletes the clip and cleans up the mess all in one move. It's awesome. And honestly, just like that, you've got the core skills down. You know how to start a project, you know your way around the workspace, you know how to pick the best parts of your clips and assemble them. You even know a pro-level shortcut to clean up your edit. Congratulations, you've officially edited your first video. So, now that you have these fundamental tools at your fingertips, the only real question left is, what story are you going to create? The possibilities are literally endless. Go have some fun.